Fingers firmly crossed. So what you might have missed while you were unable to hear my voice, Stephen, is that there was some kind of data breach on Twitch, and so this isn't actually going out on Twitch right now because I changed my password and I wasn't able to log back in again very usefully. We're working, we're up and going. Please share the stream to spread it around, let people know that it's happening, help people who lost it find it again. I'm just going to play one song and then I'm going to bring Sarah in because we lost a little bit of time there. Let me know what you want to hear in the comments. I've got a couple of requests from last week. So there's some things to keep me going, but I'm going to start with All We Know. Welcome back, Jacqueline.
All we know is, all we know is, all we know is, all we know is wrong. Got a head without words, like the flag from the start. It's not as much as you like, but it's more than enough. Thank you very much. Seas been raised, and before it's crumbled, you can leave when you like. The holes in the doors haven't changed. You fight, only fighting the measliest sense. Your pride in these misleading notions. All we know is, all we know is, all we know is, all we know is wrong. All we know is
That was All We Know. We're back. Thank you for managing to find the stream, people. That was a little bit annoying, but I've said this before. The few times that things go wrong on this, it always makes me think how amazing it is that it mostly runs without a hitch, that I'm beaming things around the world, and people are hearing it and seeing it. So let's sit with that perspective on things. I'm going to bring in our very special guest here, the one and only experimental harpist, Sarah Pagé. Sarah, how is it going?
Hi, I'm doing well. How about you?
Good. You got to see the panic firsthand while that was all going down. But we made it. We made it through.
We did.
I keep describing you as an experimental harpist in the tweets and things like that. I'm like, is that an okay label? I never know because
You know what? I tend to call myself that.
Yes.
It makes sense to me because I just feel like that's probably a broader term than people realize. I'm sure everybody has their associations with what that means, but I think all music is essentially experimenting. It's all invention, right? So I'm definitely a harpist, and beyond that, it's just figuring stuff out.
Yeah. It's playful. Wonderful. Well, yeah, I'm so glad that we've got you back here. You performed last year, and I invited you a few months back to join again. And just kind of like looking back into the archives, I hadn't realized it was actually like essentially a year ago that we did that, which kind of blows my mind a little bit that much time has passed, and it feels, in some ways, it feels like yesterday. But we've things have opened up quite a bit since then, I suppose, and I know what you've been up to a certain degree because you have a folk trio. It's a trio, right? 3 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I kind of helped you run a little release stream for an album that you put out. So and I think there's been something happening with that recently as well. I feel like there was this is Boomerang, Bumarang, not
BOO.
Not the classic spelling.
Not boo.
Boomerang. But I think there was something recently. There was something happened. I feel like it's popped up into my feed.
Well, we did play a show on Sunday this past week.
Okay.
As part of the Bloomsday Society's events in Montreal this year, which is always fun and exciting. And we were streaming live from the Wheel Club again. They just do such a fantastic job of the online shows, and we also just got nominated for a Canadian Folk Music Award.
Oh, congratulations!
For Instrumental Group of the Year, which is great. Yeah, it is very exciting. Yeah,
and this is harp, flute, and like my mind is totally blanking, and fiddle, right? I'm not
fiddle. Yeah,
not losing my.
I'm
like,
fiddle.
I can't misremember this after doing that, but yeah, I'd recently started trying to learn the flute, and so seeing it's David, right? The just he can shred. He can shred on that thing.
Oh yeah. He's the only person I've ever seen circular breathe on the pen whistle. That's pretty crazy.
That's a lot of air. A lot of air moving
exactly.
very fast. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess flute players in particular must have very, very large lung capacity, high lung capacity. I don't know what the appropriate word would be, but
the first show we ever did was actually in Prince Edward Island, and Kate's father is there, and he's a local politician and for the Green Party, before anybody gets upset. But he had a lot of fans who were, and one elderly gentleman in particular, whose name we won't mention, who would come to each of his speeches and
like a political fanboy.
Yeah, and then the next day he would hand deliver a letter to the House with a critique and a review of Kate's dad's speeches. And after our first show, he brought to Kate's house a review of our show. And among the comments, the whole thing is amazing. I wish I could genuinely publish that as our first press release, because we're never going to get a better review than that from an 80-year-old man. But for Dave, he did say that he had been, in his lifetime, a judge at multiple animal calling juries and competitions, and that he really believed that not only did Dave possibly have the ability to be a champion animal caller, not just ducks, he said large animals too. So
I did not know that this was a thing, that there were animal calling competitions. When you first said it, I must confess, I was picturing like somebody judging animals. calling.
No.
No.
So it's like the hunters who make the duck calls. And
Okay.
So apparently Dave's lung capacity, and this comes from a judge of animal calling competitions. He has the capacity not just to be a champion duck caller, but a large animal caller. Yes.
Well,
We have that in writing on Butterfly Stationery.
Bumarang. I mean, I'll type it in the comments so people can find it as well. But that's Sarah's folk trio. But as far as your own output has gone in the last little while, or production, writing, recording, since you were last with us, brief summary.
You know what? It's crazy. I'm trying not to get frustrated. Actually, I'm really busy all the time, and I'm doing a lot. I'm producing a lot of music, but it's a little bit a case of like, you know, when you just have too many things going on, and everything is kind of simmering and things are moving, but I've got so much going on that nothing is getting released, and I'm sure. I mean, I know, even if I've got the one album that I'm working on the most, which I'm hoping is going to be finished this year, it's a collaboration I've had with a dancer on a long-term basis for doing music for her show, which is an exploration of water, and water as the metaphor for the subconscious and levels of consciousness. And I've been working on producing just a full album of this music, and even if I had it ready tomorrow, there's a vinyl wait time now.
Right.
If I was ready to print it tomorrow, it would be a good 9 months before it came out. So it's like, it's kind of nice though. Since I was looking at the video of last time we did this a year ago, and I saw that we didn't have floors here yet, and there was so much that wasn't finished, and now it's fall. It's absolutely beautiful here. I'm in the Laurentians. All of our maples are turning red and peach and yellow and orange, and it's gorgeous. But I'm just getting ready to hunker down for another full winter of like, now that I finally have the studio up and running, I'm making so much music here, and I'm really excited about all of it. But it's not going to be coming out for quite a while.
Yeah. Hold tight, people. Well, did you want to play us something while we're on the subject?
Yeah. So I did a run of solo shows in August, which was nice to actually be able to be on stage again. And I'm gonna do some stuff from my old album. So I'll start with the beginning.
Amazing.
I'm gonna just take off my headphones too, so that I don't get tripped up.
Sarah Pagé. Just a little bit of housekeeping while Sarah gets her headphones back on. This is entirely listener and viewer supported. So you can support by Interac or PayPal or credit card. And there's a link in the video description, or you can go to paypal.me/paperbeatscissors. Thank you so much, Sarah. That was magnificent.
Thanks.
Would you like to tell us about that piece?
Yeah, that piece is kind of, well, it is very much like those are sort of the more experimental of the experimental stuff that I do, because it really is about, I don't know, for some reason today I felt like bringing out all of the pieces that use a bunch of toys like bows and slides and stuff. And the first piece is called Dose Curves, and it was inspired by There's this really wonderful French composer by the name of Eliane Radig.
Mhm.
She's one of the first composers of modular synth.
Mm,
music. And
mhm.
she, as well as a lot of incredible drone music, she also she's written some pieces for acoustic instruments, including there's a 45-minute piece where it's actually for harp, a Welsh harpist that I really admire, Rhodri Davies, and it's just one note, just bows.
Whoa.
One note for 45 minutes. Yeah, and it's really like very demanding in terms of getting the exact overtones, and you can hear
Right.
a little bit in that piece depending where I'm on the string. But
Mm.
I wanted to actually take it and harmonize it a little bit, and I'm starting to get a handle of the two bows thing, and now I can bow some gut. So hopefully, coming up soon. I'm working on a string quartet right now that's actually just cello and harp, but it sounds like awesome because it sounds like kind of a baroque thing that I'm excited about. And the second piece is called Stasis, which was again sort of just playing with the idea of slides. And I was working with when I was recording with Lhasa, we had the good fortune of a slide guitarist named Freddie Coella, who's
Mhm.
just a legend. He's played with Bob Dylan and everybody, and we got along really well. And his playing really inspired me. He writes music that's super minimal, but just has such beautiful, graceful feel to it all of the time. And I wrote that piece sort of inspired by some of his compositions.
Wonderful. Yeah, I mean, there's something magic about the slide for that. My friend Michael Fierstack, who you know too, is I mean, when I initially met him, he was mostly playing lap steel guitar, but kind of like upgraded to
Mhm.
pedal steel, moved from 6 strings to 10 and some pedals like you've got there. But I think it was he that kind of pointed out to me that the kind of the fluidity that you have with any instrument where you're playing with the slide, that you're not just kind of playing, with a guitar, you've got these kind of defined frets that are kind of picking out individual notes, but you have that fluidity with the slide in the same way that you do with bowed instruments to kind of move, kind of like, and it's like a human voice in some ways, that the human voice doesn't have these distinct notes that it's hitting. It's kind of, it has this fluidity to it. And
I've been trying to play for a few years now, although I'm pretty much at the point of giving up and relegating it to the status of hobby and not something I'm ever going to master because it's too hard. But there's an Indian instrument, it's Hindustani, called the sarangi, Sarangi, and it means the voice of 1,000 colors, and or a voice of 100 colors. I've heard it translated both ways, and it's supposed to be the instrument that's closest to the human voice.
Okay.
And it's insane if you ever look up any
Sarangi.
traditional sarangi recordings. It's got 3 gut strings that are played, and it's a goat skin instrument, but it's got 32 resonating strings, and it's sort of like a viola or a cello, so it's the range of the human voice. But unlike every other bowed string instrument, the fretboard, you don't push down on it. So if this was the string, I'm going to see if I can. If this was the string, it's like this on the instrument. 'Cause it's sort of like a cello. But if this was a cross section of the string, normally with a violin or even a guitar, you push down to cut the string and to determine the pitch. The sarangi, you actually put the string on your cuticle, or some people even do their skin or their nail.
Okay.
You actually slide. So your physical finger, like playing a violin, but your finger, and it's worse than that because it's the cuticle, right?
Yeah.
Your finger is the slide.
Okay.
And it sounds insane. It's beautiful.
I'm
but
definitely
it's
going to
almost
look that up.
impossible. I
You
think
said
it's the
sarangi?
hardest- Yeah.
I'm gonna type that in the chat.
Sarangi. I think
Sarangi,
it's the
look
hardest
it up.
music instrument in the world, actually. And I've been to India to study, and I've definitely made some progress. I'm still terrible. I'm terrible.
Oh no, that is a shame. I think I'm getting a bit of crackle on your end. I'm not sure if you're hearing that as well.
I'm not.
The solutions. We've been having all kinds of audio fun with this. Not only did the stream go live with no sound, but we had a few tentative attempts to get things rolling with mixed results. Yeah, I wonder what the best line of approach to that is.
Is it crackle that's livable, or is it like kind of really?
It feels like it's getting a little bit more intense. I got a comment that it's there's something
I could
there
just play faster.
before it gets even worse.
Yeah.
But you're not hearing it on your end.
No, I'm not.
Why don't we try something really basic and just leave the Zoom and come back in and see if magically that fixes it.
Sure. Okay.
And then we'll
Back
go
in a
from
minute.
there.
Okay, sounds good.
We seem to be cursed today. But keep with us. It'll be worth it. I promise. If it's not worth it already, I hope it's worth it. This is maybe a good time to mention that I was thinking we could do a little challenge today, a little challenge for all of you. I think it's really good if we get people subscribing, and on the YouTube channel, we're at 390 subscribers. So let's see if we can get it to 400 by the end of the day. So if you're watching on YouTube right now and you don't subscribe, please hit the subscribe button, and someone can keep an eye on it and let me know if we get up to 400. We're 390, I believe. So get to work. Okay, Sarah is back. And it sounds like maybe the crackle's gone. Do you want to talk for us?
Hello.
Okay.
Is it better?
There, we're in business. Look at that. First thing.
Yay!
Would you like to play as another piece?
Sure, I'll do one more piece. It's called Pleiades, and this one's sort of an exploration of some modal Indonesian scales that I really love. That where you can kind of the pitch moves from minor to, or the center moves from minor to major in a way that is really odd, that I love.
Cool. Sarah Pagé, everybody. And thanks again for your patience, people.
That's the wrong key. You guys can't see my feet, but my feet are actually what change all my notes. Sometimes when you sit down and you don't look at your feet, you do that.
Sarah Pagé, everybody. Incredible. Thank you so much, Sarah.
Thanks.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Thank you.
Mind blowing. What was the name of that track? So if people want to go and look it up, they can. Because
It's called Pleiades.
like the
And,
stars.
Yeah, the Seven Sisters. And on the album, it's like 15 minutes long.
This is the radio edit. The streaming
if you
edit.
Like that, you might not like it for 15 minutes.
See
No
how
guarantees.
you feel. And there should be a link in the video description. Who knows with all of the kind of video restarting on there. But yeah, people can find your stuff on the internet. Just look up Sarah Pagé and harp, because there are other Sarah Pagés and Sarah Pages, I guess, which is confusing. But
It's confusing. And anybody with named Sarah who has a web page.
I did not
discovered
think
that
about
at the
that. That's
birth of the
hilarious.
internet. Yeah.
Oh wow, the things you learn. I did once have an idea, and I still quite like it as an idea, but I'm probably not ever going to follow through, to write a book about people's names and about like their individual experiences with those names. So like everything you've experienced, like being a Sarah, like something. I think the thing that set it off for me was like being with a friend named Zach and running into another friend named Zach, and they both talked about how like whenever someone says exactly, they always think that somebody's trying to say their name. So
Right.
so with having the last name Page or Pagé in your case, that particular experience, I don't know, definitely sort of like, I don't know, so the kind of book you'd keep in your bathroom. You know, it's not like, oh, like this is an opus and I'm just gonna like read this and go deep on it.
Yeah, I've kind of like bizarrely collected anecdotes that would go in there. So
All right,
hit me
you're on
up
the
when time
on the
comes.
list.
I enjoy thinking about that. I'm sure other people will be as nerdy as we are.
My big one being that people often misspell my name Time, and I've done it myself.
I notice whenever I'm writing to you, my fingers will put the E there.
They're
They're
just ready to go there. Like, no.
Yeah.
Autopilot. Well, wonderful. Yeah. So look up Sarah Pagé harp, not Sarah Webpage or anything like that. And again, you can support us through donations on the, again, should be on the video description. You can support through PayPal, credit card, and Interac. And thanks so much to everybody who has supported over the last year and a half and kept this whole thing going. And we'll definitely have you back. I mean, I keep saying this, but I feel like I'm just going to be doing this forever. So, you know, whenever you finish that album, 9 months after that, when it's coming out because of the vinyl shortage backlog, we'll get you on to play some more. Awesome. That would be really wonderful.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm going to keep playing a little bit here, but we're going to say goodbye to Sarah for now. So yeah, lots of yellow clappy hands and goodbyes and things like that. So yeah,
Thanks,
hope to
everyone.
see you soon.
Thanks, Tim.
Bye-bye. Take care. That was Sarah Pagé, everybody. Not Sarah Webpage. Anna says she types ABBA a lot. That's good. Is that true? I like it. I suppose, yeah, the letters are right next to each other. I wonder if that's where the band got their name from. Thanks, everyone, so much for persevering through all of these technical mess-ups. We're getting there. I had a request last week from Anna to play a song that I played on the first week, because I've been trying to incorporate some new songs, use this as a little bit of a testing ground, explore what's going on. So I wrote this song a couple months back. It's called Deftly, and it's about, I guess, the desire when things aren't going so well to want to be able to kind of somehow gracefully be a complete mess. And there's not really a good way to be a complete mess. It's called Deftly. Again, let me know if there's anything you want to hear, people.
time we fall apart and come across all the ways that you can. Dust completely faced all the wrongs to recognize all. I bleed for the notes you go on the rank on the side of the road. Did we fall apart or unsuffering to the side? So deftly we fall apart, come across all the ways that you can. So deftly we fall apart. So deftly we fall apart. So deftly, so deftly, so deftly, so deftly.
That's the new one for Anna, deftly. I'm going to play two more. Still time to get your requests in if there's anything you want to hear. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm going to do a subscriber check at some point. Let me know how it's all going. Next week, I'm quite excited because I have a good friend, Mr. Cedric Noel, joining. We've known each other for like 10 years. Cedric used to live in Fredericton, and he told me once that he played his first ever gig playing with myself and some other mutual friends, Following the Hunter in Fredericton, and like 10 years ago or something like that. But we both ended up moving to Montreal, and Cedric's about to release his first album on Joyful Noise and Forward Music, which is the same label that myself is on. The same level that myself is on. And I've been trying to get him on here for ages, and I'm so happy he's going to join. So that's going to be same time as always, 3 p.m. EST. Hopefully there'll be no sound issues this time, and it will actually happen at 3 p.m. And then there's going to be one more stream after that, and then I'm going to take a break because I'm going to go on tour. Going to play one called Lawless from the second album, Go On. This was a request from Zuren last week in Hanover. And since there's a request for better, I'm going to follow it with better. Thank you, Corinna. I felt like I wanted to say something about this song. It's at least partially about the dangers of thinking you know too much. The most dangerous people are people who think they know everything. Perhaps. I don't know. My brain's not processing this stuff the most effectively today. I'm just gonna play this song. Get back to me about it next week. It'll make sense. I can tell you what better is about, and I will do when that's coming around. There we go.
Over out in the mud, you made a promise. Over out in the mud, you made a wish. Back where we walked, you said that it was clearing to quiet my mind, to hold us both together. Suffer the storms, the rains, the climbs our ills bring. The core where we are, you shed your guilty tear. These summers indoors would rid our viral longings. What does it mean when words are less than clear? Save us the time and effort learned. Don't pull on the charm. Pay us back. Home for the sea is all it is. You say again is all it is. You're gone with all the eyes to where you chase it blind and senseless there. Sanguine as the kids we are, we never give it all. Suffer the fool and genius the same. Stay put
That's lawless. Is the has the picture gone really jittery? It's a little bit jittery on my end, but maybe it's fine over on your end. It's all today's just like the day where everything goes all wrong. I think I can fix it if it is. I'm gonna play better to finish off here. Do let me know if ever there's anything you want to hear. Thanks to everybody so much who's been supporting. I'm gonna fix a picture quickly. Leave you with Cedric's face. I'll be back, don't worry. You'll never know. The crickets will keep you company. Oh, I'll take a spectacular sound plus a jittery picture over not jittery picture and okay sound. There we go. I think that's fixed it. The crickets did it. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in, especially in this kind of scenario where everything goes wrong and you have to make that effort to find the thing after the fact. It's always a bit of a challenge. I'm going to play better to finish off here. Be back with Cedric Noel next week. Keep on subscribing if you didn't already. That's very important. When I finished, I'm going to bring up the tour dates because that's coming up very soon. I'm going to be flying back to England in a couple of weeks. It's really coming. But this is better for Corinna in Mainz. Thank you for requesting it. Need some of that. Some of that. Some of that. Some of that.
Mess it up is much better. And though you don't in sweet cities, try just wash it off and get better. And did the mind reach right to inside? And if the bullets sound better, and from the cooling around to the way you got down, for only that it was better. Quiet
That's better. That's better. It's about how, should try and do better most of the time. Thank you, people. It's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And we'll be back next week with Cedric Noel, as I have expressed a few times. And then the week after with Bing and Ruth. It's going to be delightful, all of it. Hopefully with fewer sound and visual problems next time. Have a nice day.